Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing super well. Welcome to my 16 to 20 week pregnancy update. We're halfway there. We are halfway through this pregnancy and I'm so emotional about it because this could be the last time that we do it, and it's the last time I'm at the halfway mark. I'm not going to be at the halfway point of pregnancy probably ever again. So I'm emotional and making the most of it, but I'm feeling super emotional at how fast this pregnancy is going, and it's just blowing my mind. So yeah, a lot has gone on this past month and a lot of new symptoms have started to show, and I'm just trying to embrace all of them, the good and the bad, because I know that it's going to be the last time I do it. So I'm making the most of it. So yeah, let's jump right in. So at 16 weeks and 1 day, we had a private gender scan, and this is what baby looks like. And we are having another little boy. I was so shocked when she told us we were having another boy. I was like, what? Because part of me was like, I think it's a girl, but then in my heart of hearts I was like, I think I'm just meant to be a boy mum, so it wouldn't surprise me if it's a boy, because I come from quite a boy heavy family, and so does Tom. Tom is one of 6 children and there is only 1 girl and 5 boys. I'm an only child, but my dad is one of 4 with 3 boys, and my mum is one of 3 with 2 boys. So very boy heavy on both sides. So I was kind of expecting it, but this is what he looks like right now. We have got the 20-week scan in a couple of days. So today is Wednesday, and on Friday we have the 20-week scan. So this is what he looked like at 16 weeks and 1 day. It does look a lot more zoomed in than like the NHS ones, because this is where we got the private scan done, and they just print it off on like normal photo paper rather than like the little tiny bits of paper they do the NHS pictures on. So yeah, I think he is going to look the exact opposite of Teddy. I can't, like, I haven't seen, he's definitely got the little overbite. Teddy had a little overbite when he was born, so his top lip he'd always suck his bottom lip in, so it looked like his top lip was like really far out, and that would always show in scan photos as well. I've definitely seen that, but I think the rest, I don't think they've got the same nose, so that means he's probably going to have my nose. But we'll probably find out a bit more at the 20-week scan. And we're also thinking about booking a 4D scan this time around, which I'm super excited for, because we never got to do that with Teddy, because Teddy was a lockdown baby. He was born in September of 2020, so there was no private clinics open, and we couldn't get a 4D scan done. So I think this time with this little man, we are going to do that, because I think it's going to be so cool to see what he's actually going to look like. So another thing that happened is at 16 weeks and 4 days, I had my cervical stitch placed. I had a cervical stitch in Teddy's pregnancy because my cervix was shortening quite quickly and it was pretty concerning, and it wasn't doing it as quickly this time around. So I was 22 weeks with Theodore when I had the cervical stitch placed. I had my first scan at around 15 weeks, and they said your cervix is looking a bit short for 15 weeks. So the consultant said you're probably going to need it later down the line anyways, so we can put it in next week for you. So that's what I did. It wasn't the most comfortable experience. I knew what to expect, but it was still, recovery was painful for the first couple of days. It hurt to pee and everything like that, but now I cannot feel it at all. Like, I've got no pain, no discomfort. and it's great, and it doesn't completely prevent preterm labour. That's up to my body whether it's going to put me into preterm labour or not, but that didn't happen with Teddy once the stitch was placed. So fingers crossed this time round it keeps him nice and safe in there, and then at 37 weeks I get it removed. So yeah, I'm counting down the days until I get it removed and he's finally here. I also had my wisdom teeth removed a week after I had my stitch placed, so not the best month this month. I had it was literally just before I found out I was pregnant, about a week before. I'd had x-rays done on my teeth and my referral was sent off to another dentist to have my wisdom teeth removed because there's just not enough room in my jaw and it was pushing all of my other teeth. But then I found out I was pregnant. I then had to wait until I was in the second trimester. So I was 17 weeks and 4 days, I believe, 17 and 4. And I had my 2 bottom wisdom teeth removed. And I do not recommend that when pregnant. I'm going to be completely honest. It was the most horrendous pain I have ever felt. And I've given birth. Like, it was pretty bad. I've still got a little bit of discomfort. It's not painful at all. It's just a tiny bit achy, but I don't need paracetamol for it anymore. I just crack on, deal with it. And I know that probably by next week it'll be completely gone. So yeah, definitely hold off if you can until after you've had your baby if you're thinking about getting teeth removed when pregnant, unless you absolutely have to. So now I'm going to jump into the actual symptoms I've been getting. So the first one is nausea. That is pretty much completely gone. It's very rare that I feel nauseous. It's mainly if I've eaten too quickly. That's the only time I feel a little bit like, oh, I don't feel too good. But in terms of like morning sickness, it's completely gone. And I am so grateful because, you know, being at work and feeling that sick and just having to stay close to the toilet all the time, it was awful. And now I can actually get back to enjoying work because I love my job. I absolutely adore it. And it was awful because I wasn't able to enjoy it properly because I was just feeling sick all the time. But now I feel absolutely fine. I feel like, I don't feel like I've got that pregnancy glow, but I just feel so much better and I feel glowy on the inside because I'm not feeling like I'm going to throw up all the time anymore. Back pain, that hasn't been that bad this past month. It's mainly in the middle of my back, like right where the curve starts. But it seems to be okay at the minute. It's only if like I lay down in a position for too long, or I'm sat funny, like that kind of like it aggravates it. But most of the time it's pretty manageable and I can deal with it pretty well. But I know that that's probably gonna get worse the further through pregnancy I go. So I'm prepping myself for the day that it finally just explodes and gets really bad, but I'm prepping myself up for it. He has been moving up a storm. I think I started feeling movements around 19 weeks. I felt like little bubbles popping from around 16-ish weeks because when I had my stitch placed, they asked if I could feel any movements and I could feel tiny little, felt like bubble gum popping almost, or like popcorn going off in my belly, but it was so tiny. So it could have been gas, it could have been anything. But as of like 19 weeks, I have been getting kicked and jabbed and it has been magical. And at 19 weeks, Tom actually felt him move. I remember it being a lot later with Teddy. I think I was about 22 weeks when Tom felt him move. But I just gave him my hand and put it on my belly. He kicked and we both just looked at each other and he said, yeah, I felt that. And it was just absolutely crazy, and it was just such a nice moment. now it's just part of like our nightly routine. Like we're both lying in bed, because that tends to be when he's the most active. He's a little night owl at the minute, but Tom will always put his hand on my belly and see if we can feel him kick, and it's the most magical thing ever, and I can't wait to feel him move that much more. I have been getting, it's very, very occasional, like maybe once a week, Braxton Hicks. It lasts for maybe like 10 seconds, but I do have to stop and go like, oh, that was a bit uncomfortable. And I spoke to the consultant about it, and he said it's rare, but it is normal, and especially at that frequency as well. You're not having them very frequently, so it's nothing to be worried about. It's just because my body knows what to do this time around, so it is slowly prepping itself. And yeah, I was a bit taken aback at first, because I was like, I wasn't feeling Braxton Hicks until like 30 weeks with Teddy, so it did kind of take me back a bit, but the consultant said that it's normal. But if you feel taken aback by it, definitely speak to your midwife or your consultant about it, and tell them how often you're having them as well, just for your peace of mind, and then they can monitor you if needs be. Round ligament pain as well. It tends to be when I cough or when I sneeze, or if I roll over too quickly. That tends to be when it's the worst. It's right down at the very bottom of my belly, and it just feels like a muscle being pulled, and it is quite painful. Like I do have to stop and go, ow, that really hurt, because it's quite a sharp pain as well. But it only tends to be like if I'm getting up too quick, moving around too quick, coughing or sneezing. That tends to be the only time it's kind of triggered. So I'm making the most of the fact that I'm not feeling it all the time. But I have a feeling it's probably going to get worse the further into pregnancy I get. And lastly is that my hair has, and my nails as well actually, they have been growing super fast. Like, I can't remember how long my hair was in the first pregnancy update that I did, but it just seems to be growing so much faster, and my nails are growing quite quickly as well. I've had to trim a few of them down, but the quality definitely isn't there. Like, it just feels really dry and brittle. I know I need a haircut because I've got lots of split ends, but especially like my nails as well, they feel super dry and super brittle. But I know that that's normal, and it's just all the hormones. And it is nice having long hair again, but I know that as soon as he's born, it's just all gonna go away again. So I'm already starting to lose little strands of it already. Like, it's just like a strand here or a strand there, but when I'm in the shower, it's like a lot of it comes out. So I'm already losing it when I've already just started gaining it, but it's fine. It's all for little man in here, so I don't really mind. So now I'll do a bump shot, because I remembered that I forgot to do one in the last update. So I'll do a bump shot for you now. So this is how we are looking at 20 weeks. Definitely a lot bigger than last time. I think I was about, I want to say about 25, 26 weeks when I was this big with Ted. So I'm definitely a lot bigger, and I'm starting to get that signature kind of curve in my back as my belly's getting bigger. But I'll lift my top up slightly. So yeah, this is how we're looking. It's definitely growing and getting bigger, which is nice. So that was my 16 to 20 week pregnancy update. I still can't believe we're halfway, and I'm going to be 24 weeks when I do my next one. It's just absolutely crazy. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little update, and I hope you'll stick around for more. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more pregnancy updates, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.